All right, so obviously we're in the garage. What's up? Hello, hello. I don't know when this video will come out, but Harbor Freight had these on sale for like $2 a pair. So I grabbed a bunch because safety first, and they're super effective when you're welding with thin wire. Anywho, so we've got the twins out. Hold on. There we go. We got the twins out, and as you can see, one of them is much prettier than the other one. What we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you how to get that pretty. It is very chilly in here. It's like high 40s, low 50s. Cold for us Floridians. I've adapted. I don't like the cold. I didn't like the cold when I lived up north. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you prepping this surface and getting it to where it's ready to accept paint. Even in the chilly garage, the pretty blue torch is gonna give us a hand there. But we will go through. Unfortunately, the guy that I got these turbos from did a fantastic. You see how beautiful this is? This one was used for mock-up in the car and stuff, and I kind of beat the crap out of the dip, the hydro dip. That's my fault, not his fault. This is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it looks like after you've used it for mock-up, and you put a piece of tape on it to try and protect it, and then, yeah, my bad. My fault. 100% my fault. So anyways, this is what we're gonna go for, the look we're gonna go for. Nice and clean, no rusty. We're using a flame-proof high temp paint, and let's get it cleaned up. Okay, so first thing, take your housing off. Depending on your turbo, you're gonna have a few different options. Mine uses V-bands, so I just pull an 11mm nut and then open the V-band housing, slide the housing off. Now I have just this section. Wipe off any residual fluids and stuff. Little stuff inside, don't worry about it. This exhaust side is gonna blow out, but anything on the flanges and stuff you wanna wipe off. This one had RTV on it with a gasket. I don't recommend doing both. Generally just a little RTV on the flange. This flange and that flange and the manifold flange should be flat enough. Little RTV seals them great. That's what I use. Anyways, so once you have that situated, get yourself a drill and a wire wheel. And then, this is the long, tedious process, wire wheel this whole housing, everywhere you can reach. Doesn't have to necessarily be perfect. There's definitely some spots, like down in there, you're not gonna be able to get to. Not a big deal. No one's gonna see it, and it'll paint the same. But, so this is what we're gonna do first, is we're gonna wire wheel it, and then I'll show you prepping. All right, so now you can see no more musty, dusty, crusty. But before we can paint, we need to prep. There's still a lot of dust and debris all over this thing. So what we're gonna do, you can use brake clean. I preference acetone because I'm also going to, let me rotate, put that over there. Because I'm also going to use a little bit of heat to open up the pores in the material, as well as make sure I burn off any excess anything. Again, it's also cold in here, so I want to heat it up a little bit to allow it to cure. I'm doing it slightly different because it's a little chilly in here. It's not ideal like painting temperature, but just soak yourself a blue rag and wipe here all over everything that you just wire wheeled to get as much. Again, you're not going to get all of it, but like do your best to get as much of it as you can if you want to have a good product and a good result. Preparation is key. Wise man once said, victory loves preparation. So paint also loves preparation. So let's just get this all cleaned up. You will notice I used a few different types of wire wheels. I have the big boy on here, and I've got a little dinky one for fitting in places. Use whatever you have, whatever works. I buy variety sets because I use them for all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it just depends on what you have available. This wasn't what I was planning to do today, but you know, sometimes when you're on a whim, you just gotta make do with what you got. And because I didn't order some flanges, I can't weld the hot side yet. You know what? I'm actually gonna do that in a minute. Anyways, yeah, so we'll get this all prettied up. So now, you see, it's a little, it's even like less orangey now after we wiped off all the gunk. So with that good, we're gonna take the thing I can't use on here because I'll get in trouble, but we're gonna apply open source of heat over this, and you'll actually see it evaporate out. Once that's done, I have that little post. I'll put it on there on one of the V-band flanges, and I'll spray a first coat, and then what I do is I use that open source of heat through the turbine housing on the inside, and that'll kind of bake it in. It helps kind of cure it to the material, as well as helps it cure because it is, like I said, it's a little chilly. So I'll show you that. I'll show you the painting, and then I'll show you finished result. Well, that's finished results over there. That one. So let's do it. So just a quick look. You can see where the material. See how much different it is. And like that, they match. Now it's so much prettier not seeing that rusty, musty, crusty, dusty back housing. Two things. One, yes, I painted the flanges. No, I don't care. I'll scrape it off when I get ready to actually install them, put the RTV. No big deal. Two, the V-bands, it's gonna seal. Not a huge layer. It's not a huge deal. I didn't put like a massive layer. Always, you know, whee, spin check. These housings are not tight. They're just on there. This one's still toasty. So essentially my thought process is, if you heat the housings, it's almost like powder coat baked in type of deal. Because the material actually opens up, which is what you saw with the, seeing where it was dry and where it was wet. There's oils and stuff from, you know, accidents that might have happened, backup, buildup, whatever. But now those pores opened up to let that moisture out, and then we basically refilled it with paint. So hopefully these should stay pretty for a long time, and they won't look super gross when we pop the hood, because you know, we are going to try and have this show able. I'm going to say a show car because it's not, it's a street car. It's going to have dents and dings. It's going to have mishaps. But showable, you know, I want to be able to pop the hood and someone be like, that's pretty nice. And then, you know, decent. But yeah, so thanks. Comment, like, share, subscribe, get up and get after it.